On screen now, you can see the main TC upkeep alongside the total build cost. However, please keep in mind that this build cost does not include the secondary compound layer, and in order to get a good estimate of what that would cost, simply add roughly 110,000 metal to the build cost in order to get a total of what you would need for both the main base and the secondary compound. Another important note is the upkeep may not be entirely accurate soon enough, as compound walls will be getting their own upkeep as well, although I'm sure that won't be much of a hassle. If you happen to need the Fortify file for this design, feel free to check out my Discord, link in the description of this video, to get the download link for the Fortify file. Alongside that, if you happen to need the Builder Sanctuary code for this design, that will also be in the description of this video. Anyways, onto the tutorial, and I hope you guys enjoy. Alright folks, so this is Seoul. Coming in on the left here, we have one of 4 gatehouses. As you can see, it has a tunnel TC here. If we come down, we have a peak that holds our entrance on either side. We have a Pacheco style peak that looks out towards the outside of your compound. We have a spot for batteries, barrels, and a couple beds, with your external TC being here. This TC is optional and is protected by anti-siege should it get raided. Raiders cannot take it over. Right here is another cheeky angle for raiders running into your secondary compound. And as you can see right above, we have a couple of turrets on either side that protect the secondary compound. As you can see, the foundations here act as anti-siege that branch off of the main TC so that raiders cannot take over your externals. If you look up here, when we come up, this is where one of 3, or rather one of 4, respawn towers are, crow's nests if you will, that offer great visibility around a large section of your compound, all the way around, right below you as well, and even onto the gatehouse itself. If we come up one more ladder hatch here, you have a turbine in case you need early game electricity, and we have some searchlights here to help you find raiders during the night. You can use these low walls as cover as well as the barricades, and they act as nice peaks to use in a raid defense. Moving back down, we have our gatehouse here to our main base. If we come in, you'll see there's no TC here. That's because it's all connected to main. We have another Pacheco peaks here that gives you nice visibility into your primary compound, the exterior of your primary compound rather, on either side. This door here airlocks as long as you have this double door opening outward. This single door will airlock. Right here we have some more cheeky peaks that look outward and into your compound. Should your furnace wall get blown open, you'll be able to see into your compound. Coming in a little more, we have a turret right above that's protected by chain link on either side that for some reason isn't placed. You get the idea. If we keep coming around the compound, as you can see we have a furnace wall. No signs and nowhere for you to get in from. And on every corner we have another respawn here that looks all the way down and once again towards your compound should the furnaces get blown open. And right here we have a cheeky little battery that lurks right behind this locker. Now if we come back this way and come in for a seawall, You'll notice that we have a peak right here that looks all the way down the left and all the way down the right. This will also hold your compound should it get blown open. This gives some nice defensive capabilities in the design and has been rather effective in my personal experience. Right here, this is just usually a window to give you an idea of what's going on right outside of your seawall and towards your furnaces. Right here you have another peak that just covers all of that compound section. Feel free to place a ramp here if you need, and that'll let you be able to crouch peek this if you don't have a very good stand spray. Once again, right here, another window spot just to get a sense of what's going on outside of the seawall without getting your head blown off. Another peak here that holds your compound, and some more peaks right here that also look towards the outskirts of your compound. Now, on either corner, on all four corners, you have your entrance. Before we get there, let me just quickly point out this spot right here is meant for beds, boxes, or batteries. Feel free to do with this space as you wish. Coming back in, we have a peak here that holds our front door to our gatehouse. You can kind of see the other one too from here. And overall, it just gives you some nice angles to look through if the raiders have already gotten past their seawall. Once again, you have this turret on all four corners that protects you from anyone trying to creep up and hold your door. Some more peaks right here that look outward. Feel free to flip these embrasures to face outward if you feel that they're too exposing. Although it will reduce the visibility, but it will also make it that much more difficult for raiders to shoot you. Right here you can place some depot boxes. And if we come into the main shell, the secondary shell if you will, you have four corners to place refineries if you need them. You have some lookouts here that hold your front entrances quite well. Some breach peaks here that look towards the edge of your compound, or your seawall rather. And you have another breach peak here that gives some nice visibility even better towards the corners of your seawall. On this ramp here, on either side, you can put boxes and put whatever you might need in there, whether that's quick depot storage or kits. And right here you can secure those kits with a door, should you need to. You have 8 turrets in your shell, as you can see. Although 4 is recommended as a bare minimum, and I would put them on the corners here, as that way you get more coverage. Coming in, we have a retic right here, and a jump up entrance. The reason why it's a jump up entrance, like you can see here, is because that way raiders can't all funnel into your door at the same time, and it's much more difficult for them to push in as fast as they would in a normal entrance, which thus far makes it far easier to hold against raiders to push in. Now coming into our main shell, we have respawns on every corner. Right here, let's look up into your shell, and you have a little peak that holds your entrance right here. Usually this has a glass. I would recommend leaving the glass there and only taking it off when you need to. Right here, this ramp acts as a nade chute. Should raiders blow into this wall here, and they are using these peaks against you, you can simply throw a nade down this. It'll roll down and kill any raider that's sitting down there. Now if we come over to another corner, you have upper shell respawns right here that are on 2 sides. As you can see, this looks down and up and above. And although this peak might not serve much purpose now, should this corner get blown open as previously mentioned, it will serve its purpose quite well. Right here you could put barrels or a battery. And once again another nade shoot. Should raiders be down in this corner respawn. Coming in to our main core, you'll see that this is elevated a level. This is not only to make the raid cost more expensive, but to also make it far more difficult for raiders to door path you. As you might have experienced, door paths are far more difficult early on to prevent and to defend against, as they can just HV you. And the reason why this is designed, as you can see here, is so that they have to come up a ladder. And not only that, but it is a half wall, so they have to crouch in to get it, which practically forces raiders to hit your wall if they want to raid. Coming up right here, we have some retakes that look into our inner peaks, but we'll get to that in a moment. We have another Pacheco retake that holds your front entrance, and this just wraps all the way down to core. As you can see, our main TC goes here early on, but it's replaced with a fridge at the moment, and we will be getting around to showing where that TC is later on. Feel free to put whatever deployables you might need here, but let's keep going up. Coming up here, the reason why this is a single door is to make it more difficult for raiders to push down alongside with the half wall, with the half height floor, so that raiders are practically forced to go down the center right here, which makes it more easy, or easier rather, to hold. Now in our inner peaks, we have some peaks here that look into our inner peaks as a retake. Battery spot here should you need it. And this takes us back down towards our entrance. Right here you can also put depot boxes. If we come back up, we go to one of the other corners. We have a battery spot here. And if we come over to this corner, as it's two-sided symmetry here, you have a spot for a locker here if you'd like. And right here we have a peak that holds your ladder chutes. And it also looks out towards your secondary shell, secondary inner peaks if you will. And this takes you out to said inner peaks. These peaks give you some nice visibility all around. You can hold your front door quite easily here. And right here, you have some peaks that look towards your seawall. Kind of situational, but they've served their purpose. Especially if you don't have seawall built early on. These peaks are super helpful in defending against people trying to raid you without your seawall. Right here, we have another bridge peak, so to speak, with a Berdilla style peak here that looks out towards your secondary compound. This peak is very effective against raiders, and I have used them numerous times to defend. Right here you have another early game peak. This peak has also served its purpose quite well, as it holds your seawall, and if you don't have your seawall built at the time, it just gives some nice visibility into your compound. Once again, some nice peaks that look inward towards the base. And this is another chute here that you can hold. Coming back around, you have two ways of coming up, one on either side, and this acts as a retake towards your open core jump up. Coming up, you have another retake right here for your open core, and a retake right here that holds your drop down that leads to your roof. You cannot be HP'd from this angle, which makes it all the more defendable. Right here you can put a battery, deployable spam of whatever you might need. And now let's get into the open core. plenty of storage all throughout. You can fit up to 4, maybe even 6 barrels here should you configure it properly. On the shelf, I mean. And of course you have all of the other boxes. Plenty of storage. Now if we come up our jump up here, this goes on along the back side of our open core, clearly. And this takes us up into our open core retakes. I look down. Pretty basic, but quite useful. And then the peaks are split so that raiders cannot take control of all of your open core retakes at once with this window. So that way, defenders can retake using this window, the side that they've lost control of. This turret looks all the way down. That holds your entrance into your shooting floor. Coming down here on the corner respawn, we have some peaks that look outward into the open core. If we come up here, we have my Dropbox peak that looks directly onto your shooting floor rather, and just overall gives you visibility into this entire hallway here. Should raiders be lurking around in that, they will not be able to shoot you back in that Dropbox peak. We have another battery spot here, but before we get into our shooting floor, as you can see, this right here is where the TC is hidden on 2 sides. So as you can see here, the TC is in here, but you can put a battery here, or you can hide your rockets here, whatever you might need. And if we come to the other side, you'll see that this is where the TC is hidden. And it is quite the effective spot, although I would suggest that this wall stays facing outward like this, instead of hardtail facing you, so that raiders don't catch on. If we start coming up more, we have another Pacheco retake that just looks onto your working space. Usually we put mixing tables and furnaces here, should we need them. And we have some peaks here that look out. And before we step out towards our roof, let's come back down real quick and showcase the shooting floor. The shooting floor has some nice angles that look around your seawall and look out away towards your secondary compound. This peak is fob protected around the entire side, meaning that any fob cannot see you use this peak, and only people who are inside your compound can shoot back. 99% of the time they will be dead before they get the opportunity. So this makes it a very effective peak against raiders. This holds your secondary compound, once again fob protected on either side. And a retake here for your roof as well. Coming up, we have our main Susus with some nice retakes here. I look out towards the roof, of course. And some really nice peaks here that hold your secondary compound. This is the chute that was previously mentioned that goes to and from your main shell, secondary shell, all the way up to your shooting, and vice versa. If we come back, come up, let's take a look at the roof. The roof, as you can see, has some very nice angles here that you can use to defend your base. This looks both towards your primary compound and outward away from the base towards your secondary compound. You have 8 turrets on roof, 1 on each corner, and this turret is optional. This acts as a fob protected peak that looks out towards your secondary compound. If you have a good stance for it, it's quite effective. And essentially, any fob that's on this side can't see your body, but you can see into that compound. And coming up towards our center, we have our shops and our mini garage. This doubles as a mini garage, and you can fit up to 2 minis in here. You can put up to 4 SAMs on either corner, as you can see here. Although at the moment there's only 2, as that's really what's most necessary. That wraps up the run through for the Soul. Now let's get on to the tutorial. A quick disclaimer before I get into the tutorial. The secondary compound will be shown towards the end of the video, and you can feel free to skip to that should you need it, and it will be labeled in the chapters below. But without further ado, let's get into it. I'll be using 4-sided symmetry for this. As you can see, we have a 2x2 starter. Now we have our 4x4 shell, as you can see. To build this up from here, wall it in. This brings us up to our main 2x2 starter, as shown earlier. I'll run you guys through it real quick just to make sure you know what's going on. And early game, feel free to put your TC right there. Now if we drop down from here, you can put your ladder early on right there, and you can get in easily like so. Let's start with our shell now. First things first, on all four sides, you want to build it out like so. Do a half wall, single door frame, half wall. And build it like so with the square frame here, frame on top, and then you can connect it to like so. This will prevent this section from decaying. On the right of the door, it's walled in entirely, and on the left, you have a half wall, window, half wall. This is where the peak that holds your entrance is going to come in. Right here, this is where our chute is, so make sure not to wall that in and wall around it like so. As you can see, this is what it looks like now. Let's jump up real quick. And to build this up a little more, half wall, double floor like so, wall here, half wall window facing outward like so, and a floor here, and a floor here. This can get sealed in like so. And for your inners, have this ramp facing towards the outside, so that when raiders are trying to hit your walls, this ramp makes it more difficult. We'll switch to two-sided here. And this is where the peak starts coming together a little more. For our corner respawns that is on two-sided symmetry, you want to make sure you build it right beside your front entrance and on the opposing corner from the side that you're building it on. Here you want a half wall window. If you've already built it differently, that's okay. It's not that big of a deal. Place your windows here like so. And you can seal it in like so. For the ramp peaks, make sure they're going off the flat parts, not the sunken in parts here. Otherwise it'll ruin the functionality of this peak here. The way to know if this freehand connects properly is if it allows you to place this frame here. If it doesn't let you place this frame, you need to redo it until you get it right. make sure to place the soft wall here and this frame here in order to connect this section back to main TC, otherwise it will decay. Same thing for this section. Make sure you place frames here, half walls like so that it connects back to main TC and doesn't decay. Make sure you place the boxes here first before the rope, otherwise you won't be able to place the boxes later on. To make the Dropbox peak, you need to first place a door. And then simply place the Dropbox and pick up the door. Feel free to leave the door if you'd like, but the Dropbox will be fine on its own from there. The reason you want to place this windmill as far back against the wall as you can is so that raiders can't get on top of the backside and use it as cover to get rid of your other turrets. And there you have it, folks. Soul. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to leave it down in the comment section down below, as it helps me know what you guys want to see in the future and how I can do better. If you enjoyed, once again, make sure you like and subscribe, as it helps push the algorithm to more viewers. Hope you enjoyed.